Good morning and welcome to Gierok Farms. Today we're going to be checking the cattle and we got to go check an electric fence as well. We just got milking started here this morning, and I wanted to take advantage of this cool morning to go check on the cattle because they'll be out and about. They won't be tucked away in the shade. So it'll be a lot easier to count them and look them over earlier in the day like this. That's typically when we like to check them, or late in the evening as well, because that's the most appealing time for cattle to graze and be out on pasture. So we're gonna go check them out and see how they're doing. There's two that we gotta look over because they're getting close to calving, and then make sure the rest of the herd's doing okay as well. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get over there and check them. See, they're already starting to kind of bunch up and work their way into the shade, but who can blame them, especially during these hot summer months. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm only getting 21 and we're supposed to have 23, so we gotta go looking for them other two. I know the one's supposed to be getting pretty close to calving. We'll see if we can find them. Hopefully they're not too far off. Maybe they already worked their way up into the shade, or maybe they had their calves. I like to start off by checking these peaks up in these woods that are shaded and yet kind of open up on top. That's places that they like to hang out. Otherwise, I'm also looking down in the gullies in case she were to have her calf. She'd want to hide it in the woods. But I'm going to keep looking for her and I'll check back in once we find her. And sure enough, I drove right by her. She's just right off the top of the hill here, laid down in the woods. Make sure she's not already calving or had her calf. Yeah, that's number 494. And she's a heifer too, so hopefully she cooperates. It isn't too big of a pain in our neck. Look around here and make sure she didn't already have the calf. That, or she's going to soon here. She's working her way down to water now. I think we'll run around the other side of the woods and meet her at the bottom. Hopefully she keeps working her way down. I don't think she calved quite yet, but I'm gonna definitely look around here before we just bring her back home. We're for sure gonna bring her home now. I know sometimes if they have their calves, they like to leave them and then kind of go off in the distance. You guys hear River howling? River! See if she figures it out where we are. I bet now she will with the four-wheeler running. They're all kind of by the water now. Maybe it'll be a bit easier to count them. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, so we got all 23. And then we got this heifer here now with the group. So we'll go look around a little bit, make sure she didn't already drop the calf, and then we'll bring her back to the yard here. Number 36, this is that other one we were supposed to check on. She's also getting close. She's starting to bag up, but I think she's gonna be a while yet. That heifer with the ear tag, 494, she's coming home though. See if we can get her ourselves, otherwise we'll maybe have to go get one of my brothers to help bring her down. Come on, girl, come on. This has been one heck of a excursion here. She went way up on the ridge, so we got her down from there, and then we're slowly trying to work our way back to the main gate and corral and bunk up there. We might end up just having to group her up with the herd and chase the whole herd up there, but it'd be nice if we could get her up there. We're not too far now. We're probably 150, 200 yards away, but she's a heifer, so she doesn't know what's going on quite yet. After a lot of persistence, we finally got her up here in the corral. This is probably the halfway point, and then it should be pretty easy from here on out. At least she'll be on the right side of the fence. She's now exiting our back 40 with all of our heifers and dry cows, and we're going to walk her through the milking herd pasture, so hopefully this goes okay. Come on, girl. Let's try to keep her along the fence as long as we can. This would have been a lot harder by yourself. I don't think you could have done it. You would have had to catch her by the gate or something. You couldn't have pulled her all the way through the back 40 to get her to where we wanted her. So big thank you to my brother for helping out. There we go, girl. Well, that didn't go so bad. It didn't go as smooth as I would have liked it to, but we got her down here and she's in the yard now, so nothing to complain about there. Now we're up here on Suicide Hill, and if you guys remember from our most recent haying videos, this is that same piece. It's a steeper field of ours. We like to harvest first crop off of it. It's all grass. So and then we graze it the rest of the year, and we put electric fence up along the bottom here before that nice alfalfa strip. And then we also have electric up there along that corn. And the reason why we graze it is just because it's so steep, and it doesn't pay coming in here so many times in a year to make hay off of it when we could just graze it anyways, and they'll eat what grows there, and it'll be a win-win situation. We'll burn less fuel, all that. And then while I'm up here looking at it, there's that cornfield that we did a stand count in, that no-till piece that didn't look so great earlier in the year, and it's really pulling through. You can see a couple of the spots there where the bugs got after it and you know, ate some of the seeds right off the bat, but otherwise the plants that did survive they're looking great. They really pulled through. We were getting kind of worried there. It was definitely our crappiest looking field out of everything else, but that's a good example of no-till. You know, a colder spring like that and colder soil temperatures, it really took a while for that corn to shoot up, but when it did, man, it's really going now, and it's got more moisture than everything else, so it should turn out to be some pretty good corn. We're happy with that. But yeah, we're gonna check the electric up here. We're gonna shut the fencer off, and then we're gonna go along the bottom here and along the top and make sure that the deer didn't knock down the fence anywhere. And then we'll also make sure that we have good current going through it once we come back and turn it on again. So let's go check everything out. We got our fencer turned back on. Let's make sure there's a good spark. Let's make sure there's good electricity flowing through there and the fence is doing what it's supposed to be doing. A company reached out to me and they asked for me to try out one of their products. It seems like a nice little tool. I haven't got to try it out too much. They haven't paid me to show it off or anything. I want to try it out here. It's from a company called Boundary Blade. You guys might have heard of them. They're from Ireland, and their tools are electric fence testers that are also pocket knives. We'll try it here and see how it works. I believe you just take your steel part and touch your wire. There we go, we got some kind of voltage. So see, I'm making steel to steel contact with it folded in. And I go and press the test button, and then she shoots up to the amount of volts she's got. It's looking good. We got some kind of current going through there. Like I was saying, it also doubles as a pocket knife. And it's got these slotted holes, so if you got small bolts on like electric fence insulators or something special like that, you could tighten them without getting a different tool. It's kind of an all-in-one electric fence tool. So off the bat, things that I would change, I believe this is meant more for a high tensile fence and a smaller wire, and the wire we're using is a bit bigger, so if their opening could be a bit wider, it'd make it a lot easier to get that connection and test your fence out, at least for the type of wire we have. That'd be the one thing off the bat that I notice. It's in metric, so I'm not entirely sure if our fencer's putting out what it should be, but it's putting out some kind of current, and they're just dairy cows, and they're pretty trained in anyways, so we're not too worried about it. As long as they know the fence is there, they ain't gonna bother trying to touch it or knock it down. So otherwise, I think it's a pretty decent tool. If that's something you were looking for, I'd definitely go check them out. They're a smaller company, which I really like, and they're definitely trying to build something with the farmer in mind, which I can appreciate. So but yeah, that's the Boundary Blade. Like I said, I'm not affiliated with them or anything, but they asked me to test it out, and figure I would and let you guys know what I thought about it. So I'm gonna end off the video here. I wanted to say thank you to anybody who ever leaves a comment down in the comment section. We really appreciate that. We for sure read every single one of them, and when I have time, I try to respond to as many of them as I can, but we're for sure reading all of them, and we really appreciate it. It really makes our day reading through them and seeing what you guys have to say, all the nice comments, and even some of you guys critiquing what we do. And I'd also like to thank anybody who's ever sent anything to our P.O. box. Man, that really makes our day, you know, especially the letters we get, you know, about the stories that they have of growing up on a farm, or how much they've learned watching our channel. We really appreciate those letters and those comments. And then some of the items we received in the P.O. box are above and beyond anything we ever expected. It makes us really happy to see that some of you are so invested in us that you take time out of your day to send us something or to leave a comment. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the support, and we'll see you in the next video. And there the herd goes, headed up to that pasture that we just checked over and made sure the fence was doing what it's supposed to be doing. And then if you guys can see, over in that other pasture is that heifer that we brought down. So very satisfying.